Alright, guys, I told you I'm starting my podcast today. So here we are. My name is Patrick McDonald. I'm a registered mental health counselor intern, and I'm also a life coach. A couple things about me. I have my master's in professional counseling, got my bachelor's in psychology, my AA in psychology, and did some teaching for about 6 years: fifth grade, fourth grade, third grade, ninth grade, 12th grade. What do I do this for? Well, first off, I think that our community of people, whether that is Black, African American, you could even say Hispanic, you could even say minority, um, low income, uh, some people would say at risk, things of that nature. I do it for these types of people, which in the past included myself, because I feel like we don't have the resources available to us like other people do. So I do this to try to give it out freely with the intent of eventually monetization and things of that nature. But ultimately, the biggest thing is giving out the information so people that may not go to a therapist, go to a counselor, have a social worker assigned to them, people that slip through the cracks, things of that nature, do it for those types of people. That way, you're just scrolling through the internet, boom, you see something nice. Nice educational, informative piece on mental health, but also a lot more informal. Um, the therapy world is very much formal, very much bureaucratic, and there's a lot of things that limit, I guess you could say, our people from getting to this resource. So for me, I do both. I'm the therapist in my regular career field, in my 9 to 5 kind of thing, building up my caseload there. But I'm also the life coach where I can come into people's homes without all of the bureaucratic tendencies like the counseling and the therapy kind of has naturally. So a lot of things you have to do, obviously, with confidentiality. Funding is a big issue. You can't have type dual relationships and things of that nature, and sometimes that can be hard because if you're a family that's in need, sometimes it may take 3 or 4 months for you to get off of someone's wait list, and it's like, well, the kid done already got in some more trouble or things got worse. Life coach, come in the next day. We can talk on the phone that same day, free consultation. So I can use my expertise very easily in this type of field, in this type of industry, the life coaching industry. Whereas in the therapy field, there's so much paperwork involved beforehand that a lot of people are just like, you know what? We've been figuring it out like this far. We may as well keep going, even though things aren't going well. But at the end of the day, it's like I want to try to bring this to the people. So that's why I do this. So originally I was going to do a group session with men and really try to do some group of black men, and I cast it out there on Facebook world, and I think I had 5 people hit me back and sign up, and you know things didn't work out, and so here I am, first inaugural episode, and I gotta get it out there. I gotta start this thing. So we're gonna do things a little different for this first episode because, like I said, I just want to start getting the information out there. I feel like I have a lot to say. I feel like I have a lot of questions to ask our people. I feel like our people need to hear positive things. We need to be around each other. A community is important. A lot of times we're kind of wrapped up in our own lives. I'm just trying to get it out there and get us together more too. So that's my intention with this. So I'll run through a couple of things that I was planning on doing for the group activities in hopes that you can kind of see what this is about a little bit. The setting will be a little bit better, especially once I get some more people committed to the situation. I know things come up, things like that. Still love y'all, but you know, I got to keep pressing forward with what I feel like my mission is with this thing. So I'll kind of go through a little bit what I was gonna do, go through the format of everything, and we'll just go from there. So let me pull up my little itinerary here. We'll get rolling. Okay, so the first thing I was gonna do was a smoothie challenge. I know a lot of times um, we don't really eat right, and so part of what I'm doing is looking at this meal prep thing, looking at how we can integrate some more healthy things in our lives and make it easy for us. So I looked up a couple recipes and kind of narrowed it down, and I'm gonna do a smoothie. So I'm gonna just try it on air. I'll tell you the ingredients and then I'll tell you some more things about it. All right, so I finished blending the smoothie up. This is a oatmeal based smoothie. I'll pull up the recipe here for y'all. It is called an oatmeal smoothie. Okay, so this is a good way to get started in the morning. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like to eat breakfast and stuff like that." That's fine, but getting into the smoothies can help because it's an easy way to consume healthy ingredients. And you can consume it pretty quickly. It's a grab and go situation, especially once you get your formula right and you get your smoothie tasting how you want it to taste. You can get up in the morning, make it in a couple minutes, get up out of here. So this is an oatmeal smoothie, and I'll tell you the ingredients before I taste it. It is rolled oats, peanut butter, Greek yogurt, milk, ripe bananas actually, so that's better for me because I don't like to get the frozen ones. Frozen pineapple, vanilla extract, cinnamon, a little bit of salt, some ice cubes, and then a little bit of maple syrup to taste. So here we go. It's actually not bad. It's my first time trying this particular recipe, and I mean, kind of like eating oatmeal. I can taste the cinnamon. I can taste the maple syrup. Definitely could taste the pineapples in there. I can taste the bananas, all the peanut butter. Pretty good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I did that. Um, Another reason I wanted to show you all about the smoothies is because part of my life coaching is the nutritional coaching, and a lot of what I can do as far as not just talking on the phone and giving you the updates on what's healthy, what's not healthy. I can also help you meal prep by either helping you set up your grocery list. Obviously the premium people that want to kind of take it up a notch, especially if you're local, I can do the grocery shopping for you and deliver, and things of that nature. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody to benefit from eating healthy, meal prep, and nutrition. The other good thing about oatmeal is that it has a lot of protein. So you eat protein in the morning, it's supposed to help boost your metabolism and things like that. Peanut butter obviously has protein, and there's nutrients in the pineapples and the bananas and things of that nature. So there you have it. Here's my oatmeal smoothie for you, and that's what I wanted everybody to try out. So now that I got the recipe, I'll kind of update it, make it a little bit better. I like the consistency of it already, and I'll have pictures of it on the wherever I post it at. I'm probably gonna post some of this stuff on Facebook, especially so you can see like some more of the details of what goes into this process. So we'll move into the next segment. I was gonna show you all how to make healthy lunches. Again, you can meal prep these things on, most times people like to do it on their Saturdays or Sundays on the weekends and stuff like that before work or whatever your day off is. You can prep these things fairly easy, generally inexpensive. A lot of what I'm doing here is called harm reduction approach, which is doing better than what you're doing right now. A lot of you all, from what I gather, eating fast food, a lot of processed, ultra processed foods, things like that throughout your daily basis. And this is why we're having a lot of the health problems we are in our communities: high blood pressure, diabetes, things that can lead to stroke, weight gain. A lot of our communities deal with obesity, and it's a struggle. But learning how to plan ahead, learning how to do these things is what I'm trying to show our community of people. That way we can get to the point where we're doing these things on our own, or you're paying people like me to help you stay on track. And that's what I'm here for. A lot of people don't really understand that I'm just kind of like an accountability partner. Yeah, you'll be paying me weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly if you want, whatever the case may be, to check in with you, help you game plan, help you strategize, continue to motivate you, hold you accountable, tell you the new research, old research, tell you the same things you already know, but really just keep you on track. That's what I'm here for. Life coach. I'm a coach. I help coach your life, whether that's nutrition, relationships, individual things, confidence, whatever that may be. That's what I'm here for. Just kind of keep you on track. Okay. Okay, I'm back. It only took me a couple of minutes to make my wrap here, and this is a healthier alternative than a lot of the fast food that you're eating. So what I have in this is a whole wheat wrap, non-GMO, and then I just use a bundle of lettuce, organic. I use the baby spinach, and for this one I did get kind of cheated a little bit and got the sliced chicken from the deli. So it is fresh cut, but you do have to be careful with the sodium. The deli meat generally has high sodium content, so you don't always want to eat the sliced meat. A lot of times you want to go with the rotisserie chickens and things like that, and you can kind of pull it yourself. But just for the sake of time and for the sake of brevity, just wanted to show you all, you can meal prep these and you can just store them in the fridge. So this is the wrap. Also, I did put some feta cheese in here. Feta is my favorite. That's why I put it on the wrap. And I added the Caesar dressing, and it's a vinaigrette style, not the creamy Caesar. So a lot of times what you want to do is find your vinaigrette. They say if you can see through the dressing, it's a little healthier for you. So you want to stay away from your ranches and stuff like that. I know everybody loves ranch. I actually make a really good homemade ranch that goes with wings that I make for our dinners every now and then. But on your weekly basis, you really want to aim for the see-through dressings. They say one of the healthiest is the balsamic vinaigrette. You can also look into the red wine vinegars, things of that nature. So I'm just going to continue eating my little wrap. It's pretty good. A lot of people don't like the whole wheat, but I'm starting to subscribe to it because it has a lot of nutrients. It's very nutrient dense, and if you're a person that eats big portions, what you'll find is if you eat whole wheat, you'll realize that you get full way quicker. So, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, if I start eating healthy, I'm gonna have to eat like a gallon of spinach a day, and kind of say, not really. Whole wheat, very, very healthy, but it's also dense. So when you eat it, it's gonna make you feel more full because it actually has a lot of nutrients in it. unlike enriched white bread that a lot of people eat, doesn't have anything in it. You know, you go eat a pizza or you go eat white bread sandwich, it just kind of flies right through you. That's why you're still feeling hungry afterward. So you can start trying the multi-grain or the whole grain versions of things, and you'll start feeling a little more full. Me personally, I love the wraps. It can be deli meat, it can be rotisserie chicken. Some people like to do tuna wraps. I haven't gotten into those, but tuna obviously being healthier alternative than your fast foods and things like that. Another thing I was gonna have some people try sparkling water. Um, I know a lot of you hate it, think it's gross, but for me personally, it has kept my weight off, and I can feel a difference in my body. I used to drink a lot of sodas and juice and stuff like that, and I mean I was up 30 pounds. There was a point in time I was about 210, 215, closer to 220. I know people may not believe me. People that know me may not believe me. Had a nice little gut. But I don't know what to say. The past 3 years, 4 years, pretty much 80 to 90% of what I drink is sparkling water, or water, of course. So this one is the blueberry pomegranate. If you're a beer drinker, a liquor drinker, anything like that, you know that certain things are an acquired taste. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it tastes so good. Oh my gosh, it tastes good once you kind of shift over into knowing what to expect out of a sparkling water. You also have to be careful that you're not getting sparkling water with sucralose or more sugar. The ones that I get, zeros all the way down. No calorie, zero total fat, no sodium, no carbohydrate, no total sugars, no added sugars. And they use the natural flavors. A lot of times we get the ones that are non-GMO. I don't believe that these particular ones are non-GMO, but there aren't any sweeteners in this. So it really is just seltzer water and a general natural flavor that has no sweetness. But you can taste the hint of the blueberry pomegranate. The good thing about these, it's good for your digestion as well. As you can see, it gives you a nice little burp. So if you're that person that likes the fizzle of a soda, things like that, you'll still get that. And really, what I've noticed is you'll get more. Unless it's like a Coca-Cola, has ton of carbonation. These have very high carbonation, so you can get you a couple nice burps out of them. Pretty good. Oh yeah, got me a nice burp out of that one. Okay, now that we're done with the nutrition or the health portion of what I was going to do for the podcast, I'll move into some lighter talking points. I was going to talk about sports and then talk about some random reels that, excuse me, some random reels that, ones that I like, and I was going to have some other people bring up ones that they like, bring up their talking points about sports, and we're going to spend about maybe 10 minutes or something on it. So since it's just me, I only spend a couple minutes. First and foremost, my boy Jordan Love got basically the max contract. They say it's the highest paid quarterback ever. It may be by a couple dollars because I think it's Joe Burrow and one more guy, Trevor Lawrence, that have $220 million on the max deal. I don't know how they consider him the highest paid ever, but he's tied up there with Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. For me, Obviously, you want to do a deal like that to kind of let your quarterback know, hey, you're our guy. Um, that's a lot of money for a guy who didn't even get to the NFC Championship. However, me being a Packers fan, of course I'm happy. Of course. But, there's still a lot to be seen, I'm just hoping that he can pan out to at least make it to the same spot this year or make it to the NFC Championship. Hopefully make it to a Super Bowl. I don't like to put the pressure on the guy. Oh, gotta go get us a ring. Gotta go get us a ring. There's a lot of quarterbacks getting paid right now. I really like to see my boy Tua Tagovailoa get his contract too. A little bit lower than Jordan Love, but either way, I like it for the guy. I like Tua, but he hasn't shown too much of anything either. I think they made the playoffs this past season, but I think that's about it. Maybe. What else have y'all done? I guess also probably the thing is there's just not that many quality quarterbacks that you can pay a lot of money to. So even the ones that aren't proven, it just kind of sounds like we still got to give them the money. These agents are really good at what they're doing too, and they're finessing a lot of money out of these NFL owners. So hey, keep it going, keep it going. I love it. I love to see people making a lot of money. I'm not sold on the Trevor Lawrence making a lot of money, but if that's who y'all believe in, that's who y'all believe in. Okay, another good talking point. Bronny James. Get off my boy Bronny James, man. I see a lot of y'all hating. He ended up having more stats or better stats than the number 2 guy at the end of the total summer league season. But I heard crickets after that. After we posted that, I'm sure a lot of people reshared and stuff like that. I heard crickets. All y'all can talk about is those missed 3-pointers and stuff like that. Get off my boy Bronny James, man. I'm not even a Lakers fan. I'm a Bronny fan. I'm a LeBron fan too. I'm just a LeBron fanatic. Some of y'all know me. But get off of them. Let them grow. Quit hating. And wanted to speak on that nepotism point too. I don't understand why some of y'all are mad that he got the situation that he got. Do y'all see Jerry Jones' family? Do y'all see pretty much anybody any school system that I've worked for in the past, 6, 7, 8 years? There's so many people with jobs where, their uncle's running the company, or, they might be a second cousin, stuff like that too. But at the end of the day, it is what it is at this point. It's not really going to stop. I do think that you do have to have some type of talent, some type of expertise in our regular jobs and our day-to-day stuff. You do have to have some credentials. Like you might have to have a degree or something like that. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. And shoot, man, I'm hoping some of my friends get into opportunities where it's like, hey, I see you got a degree. Oh, I got this job. Come make, this XYZ amount of money. And I can skip over some people. Shoot, I've never really gotten that opportunity. I think most of us, especially people that I know, have gotten it out in the mud. So at the end of the day, yeah, nepotism, it's one of those things, you don't really want it to be too haywire. But like I said, I'm telling you, I've been in counties where middle school, somebody's aunt works there. High school, somebody's uncle works there. They got a job because their uncle is best friends with so-and-so who's a leader in the district. Okay? They still have to produce. They still have to, well, in most cases, they still have to produce and be aware and do what they're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. So back to my whole thing about Bronny. Give him some room, let him grow. He's going to show y'all. He's going to show y'all. And I'm going to be right there reposting it. Once he dunk on somebody good in the NBA, once he becomes a starter in the Lakers or wherever team he ends up being at, not really sure. But I'm right there rooting for Bronny, man. Let's do it. Okay, let's move into reels. I'll point out a couple ones that I liked. I was going to have people, pull up ones on their phone, kind of laugh, talk about them. Or if they had some serious ones, kind of chop it up and give our perspectives on them. So I'll try to pull this one up, and then I'll just pause it a little bit through once you get the gist of, maybe you've heard it before, maybe you kind of hear first a little bit of words, and then I'll just speak on it.
Always try to make sure, like, my friends that didn't choose the streets, the ones that we consider to be squares, like, I always try to make sure I tell them how proud of them I am. Because they the strong ones, they the tough guys. They the ones who didn't break. Most of us broke early in life, man. We fell to the pressure, we fell to the temptation. And they came outside the same hood and walked past the same temptation, all the shit that's going on, the peer pressure, and they stayed focused.
I like where he's going with that. It's funny, you know, growing up in high school and stuff like that. Of course, for me, I was not, you know, I was not getting in trouble like that. I was not running the streets like that. And so, of course, you know, and then the way that I talk, a lot of times I enunciated the words and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe got called a square, maybe got called other names, got called the Oreo, stuff like that. Um, and I like where he's going with it. You know, if you didn't hear what he said, he's talking about he's proud of the quote unquote squares, you know, from the neighborhoods, because we were the ones that toughed it out and weren't getting in trouble and stuff like that. Not saying I was perfect at all, but I really liked that reel, and it kind of kept me motivated to that, like, yeah, you know, sometimes when you're younger, people say stuff and you might get kind of put in a box and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm proud of being strong and being tough and staying out of the streets. And I'm hoping that, you know, a lot of these younger kids, people in younger generations, can pick up on the fact that, you know, your peers, especially when you're younger, they're not really, well, I'll say the ones that I was around and the ones that I kind of see, but they're not really gonna be, oh my gosh, you're doing so good reading those books and stuff like that. They're not really gonna be on that. They're gonna be, oh, what's up, man? Let's go to the park. Oh, you not, oh, you whack, man. They're gonna kind of do that to you, but really, you're showing signs of strength. So, you know, if you're that person that maybe feel like you don't fit in, and you know, people might be calling you weak or you soft and stuff like that, just keep moving in the right direction. As long as you got a good game plan and you kind of know where you're going, as long as you know that street life is not, it's not always cracked up, what it's cracked up to be, and a lot of those people maybe, you know, have worse struggles because of the choices that they made, and it's like, just stay on the right track, just keep doing your thing. Stay out the streets, stay in the house. If you're in school, stay in the books, things like that. And then as far as me as the life coach, I can do the academic coaching. I would prefer, you know, sixth grade and less, just because I taught fifth, fourth, and third, so I'm pretty good with knowing the standards and stuff like that with the public schools. If you're older, just know I can kind of help motivate you and help you stay on track. I may not be able to, you know, get you to those goals as far as understanding what's going on in the books, because a lot of stuff I did not retain. But if you're in elementary school and your kid's struggling with, you know, keeping up with the schoolwork, maybe you as the parent don't really know what's going on, or it's hard to, those concepts are hard, you know, it's getting a little harder for the fifth grade, you know, elementary school kids with the workload and everything. If you're that person, and you're trying to figure out a way to keep the kid on track, contact me, because I can help. And if I don't know the standards and how to teach them to the kid, and how to tutor the kid, so to speak, in that aspect, I can figure out how to get them in the right place. So again, with me being a life coach, I can do that for you as a service, where you're paying me for it, yes, but I'm able to kind of take it and run with it. So if you're telling me, hey, I need my kid to learn how to spell or something like that, I can kind of help. We have that one-on-one time. There's always cases where, you know, we try to one-on-one time and it might not work, or things like that. But it's definitely worth a shot to try that one-on-one and to get them in front of somebody. Maybe, like, you know, in my situation, maybe that they don't know, or maybe that they're not familiar with. So that way, when I'm entering into their life for that particular situation, that's the good thing about being a life coach. when I'm entering into that role, that's what I'm there for. So when I show up, Mondays at 7 p.m. or I'm calling on the phone or we're doing the a screen call, they know it's time to get in the books. So that kind of sets up that precedent. So yeah, you're paying for the service. I know out of pocket fees sometimes concern people, but I'm willing to work with people on price and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, what you really want is for them to have that dedicated time to sit there and do this every week. Monday at 6, this is what we're doing. Monday at 6, so it's the expectation, and then you can build more and more and more into it. So stay out of the streets, stay inside, stay in the books, and if you need someone to kind of help motivate your kid, contact me. I got you. Here's another reel that I really liked and appreciated. Hopefully y'all can hear this.
Lowest moment in your life. That's suicidal. Well, yeah, I was suicidal. I was, that's the everything, though. I had everything. Every time you turn on TV, I was on every commercial. Talking my game, playing 2 sports. And I tried to take myself out in Cincinnati, Ohio. Basically because my babies had been taken from me. That was the only thing I felt like loved me at the time. Everybody.
So I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was basically Dion talking about he was suicidal. And that's interesting to me because, obviously me being a regular citizen of America, just a regular human being, we see people like Dion, we're like, man, greatest cornerback ever. Multiple Super Bowls, Hall of Fame, got a lot of money, got a lot of success, got a lot of charisma, but he was suicidal. Um, One, I think it's important for people of that stature and of that nature to speak on those things because a lot of us down here below are like, are they dealing with that? Are they not? Especially for me being a black male, it's like suicidal. Me personally, I've dealt with minor bits of depression, but I haven't necessarily went to the self harm or suicidal and things like that. But I guarantee you, there's people that look like me, have my skin color, that have, and they may not have known that they could even talk about it. So for him to bring stuff like that up is very powerful to me, and just see him kind of what led him. He gave us a brief example of his kids were being taken away from him. He felt at the time that was the only people that loved him, and that's a whole nother can of worms to open up. All this success, all this fame, all this glory, all this stuff, and the only people he felt truly loved him was his kids. I understand that family is close to us, and we're always pretty much going to trust our family to love us the most, maybe. But for him to feel so alone like that is very like real and down to earth, and it kind of makes me feel like a lot of times maybe we look at those celebrities in too much of a high esteem, like they're not going through anything. I know we see the celebrities with the scandals and the sex tapes and stuff like that, but when we're talking about this, self-harm and suicide, a lot of times in the black community, we don't talk about it. So for a guy like that, I really appreciated that, and that kind of spoke to me that like, hey, we need to make sure, regardless, we're out here chasing this money. You're out here chasing this money. I'm chasing money. We're all out here trying to survive and make ends meet and buy things and do this and do that. But we got to take care of our mental health, and that was super important and powerful to hear from Mr. Deion Sanders himself. Okay, so the next bit I was going to move into was to ask everybody, hey, what are you doing for self-care? So I'll kind of, I will answer this question for you and kind of give you a glimpse of some of the things that I'm doing and kind of just sprout it out from there. So self-care. A lot of what I do is rest. I'm constantly on the move. Right now I'm working 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, pretty much every day, not really letting myself take any breaks. Um, just trying to stack up, just trying to stack money and stuff like that. Try to make sure the bills are good. Try to build up the savings account, stuff like that. I'm working on my therapy caseload. at my new organization I'm working for, and it can be a lot, ripping and running, there and back, there and back. And I'm doing side hustle stuff, doing a little Instacart, Uber Eats, Uber, driving people around, stuff like that. And those are those types of jobs where you can work 16 to 20 hours a day. You can use both apps and kind of dibble and dabble. Each app I think allows you 12 hours or 14 hours of drive time. So if you really wanted to, you could drive all day long. So to learn how to limit myself. So what I'm doing a lot of is resting. That's number one. Number two, I really am eating healthy. I'm trying to get on a better regimen, but I feel like I'm eating pretty healthy. We do a lot of organic and non-GMO. Like I said, I'm drinking the seltzer waters. Trying to incorporate more veggies, more fruit, more greens. A lot of times our plates look brown, but not brown, but no colors. Like for instance, if we make chicken tenders and fries, we don't have any greens on there. So that's why I say brown. Things like that. So I'm trying to incorporate more things like that. But I really am, I feel like on a daily basis, eating way healthier than I used to. There's a point in time I was drinking 3 monsters a day, eating fast food on the weekends, and then we were just buying whatever. Not looking at the backs of the nutritional facts, not looking at what is inside of these things. There was a point I was thinking that zero sugar was no sugar, but I had to do the research on that. We get and more stuff like that later when I got a group of people here, because that's part of what I want to do is try to inform people, try to find their misconceptions, and then kind of show them what the new evidence is for what we're eating and what we're consuming. Okay. Also, I guess you could say I do a lot of journaling. Sometimes I just go in my little notepad in my phone and just write out how I'm feeling. That's generally used to be pretty tough for me to kind of say how I feel. So now I just write it. A lot of times I talk on the phone to my friends. Talk about whatever. Get on the phone, start laughing, get your mind off of the stress of your daily struggle, your daily grind. And obviously, me, I'm married, so I spend a lot of time with my wife. We watch a lot of movies, we hang out, we laugh, we joke together. Things like that kind of help me, get through the days, because these long work hours, man, it's like, when does it stop? Right now it ain't gonna stop. So I gotta make sure I get my rest, hang out with my wife, eat healthy, and just keep doing what I'm doing. And I think that's gonna help me kind of, elevate myself and stay mentally focused. So I had some talking points on here about parenting, as I knew some people that were coming up. Most of them have kids, and I was just gonna kind of check in and ask a couple questions, such as, how's your relationship with your kids? And maybe, anybody listening in, maybe you can comment, how is your relationship with your kids going? What are some things that you struggle with as a parent to really know what to do about, as we all know, every single kid is different. So, and every single day is different. Me and my wife, we don't have kids, but being in the school system and being around kids, we have pretty general understanding, pretty common and professional understanding. We also have nieces and nephews and stuff like that. But I always wonder, on the day-to-day, what is your struggle? Maybe you don't know what to do. Your kid keeps doing this, you keep saying that, and it's not meshing together. It's creating this more dissension, and it's well, I don't know what else to do, because I'm not gonna let them talk to me this way or da 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 da. So what are those struggles? I was gonna probably bring up some stuff about what are your daily routines as far as school. I know we're in the summer, but what are your daily routines as far as what they're doing? Are you just kind of like permissible? It's just like whatever. Whenever they wake up, I just let them run around, and then they eat and they go to sleep. Is it regimented? I just like to hear from each person. Like, what are you doing to cultivate your kid? In our society, a lot of parents are young. A lot of parents, and again, in our communities, may not have the understanding of what it takes to be a parent, I guess you could say. And a lot of times we're just kind of willy nilly. Well, I say we, but a lot of times the parents that I see are kind of just willy nilly, like doing this and doing that. And some of it obviously works because number one, you gotta be there for your kid. So as long as you're present for your kid, it's like, okay, that's fine. But there's also things that can help better, I guess you could say scientifically, things that we see in the culture that work, our experiences. What are some things that are helping you to cultivate your kid to be, I guess you could say, like a productive citizen of wherever you're at. In this case, we're in the United States. So what are some things that you're doing? What are some things that you're struggling with? What do you need help with? What do you think your kid needs help with? If there's a break in the bond, and you and your kid are just, that's where I can come in as a life coach. We can talk, we can figure out some things. A lot of times I'm that middle ground where it's this side, hey, what was your concern? And then it kind of forces that person to hear it, through the lens of the setting that we're in, because, I'm designed to kind of be like that mediator. Okay, I hear this. What's your take on that? Hear that. We come together, we kind of meld it together. We set the boundaries, we work on goals, things of that nature. Again, I do a lot of these things in the therapy world for people that know how to reach me in the therapy world. I really want to try to give back to our community, people that may not ever go to therapy, may not have the money, may not even have insurance. I want to be able to provide that to this community of people where you can still have the science, you can still have the mediation, and you can still have the professional judgments. I'm not going to sit here and be like to the kid, oh, your parent's right, you need to da 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 da. No, it's more of a, okay, tell me what you heard. Okay, is this what you're saying? Okay. And then we're kind of doop, boop, 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 and then we just come together. That's what I'm designed for, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it. So if you're having these troubles, these issues, or you just don't know what to do, you got questions and stuff, you can contact me, okay? I can help you with that. Okay, the next bit I was going to talk about was a little bit of politics. I know that a lot of people say two things you shouldn't talk about are politics or religion. Politics or religion. I agree in some cases, but most of the time I disagree. I disagree because we are social beings. So we're designed to commune with each other. Talk, eat, hang out, play, cry, hug, whatever else, and then obviously if you're in like the intimate relationships, have sex, cuddle, hug, kiss, smack on the booty, whatever else you do. We're social beings. And I think it's important for us to learn how to talk about politics in the right manner. I think it's important to find the middle ground with a lot of things because none of us have 100% pure, correct, factual perspective on our politics. I mean, that's just plain and simple. It doesn't matter if you hold a party affiliation or if you don't. It doesn't matter who you're voting for or not. I'm sure you got close friends that are going to vote for somebody differently than you. I'm sure you got coworkers that you like that are going to vote differently than you. Things of that nature. You shouldn't hold these things against other people, You go buy a sandwich from McDonald's. If you knew that person's party affiliation, you're still gonna go buy a sandwich, or you go, no, I'm not buying a sandwich because I know who that person's voting for. Who cares? Okay? Who cares? It's the same thing in your regular day-to-day relationships. You vote for that person, you have that right. You vote for that person, you have that right. You don't vote, you have that right. And at the end of the day, I think the reason why people say that you shouldn't discuss religion and politics is because a lot of people don't know how to handle their emotions. I hate to say it, you know, and a lot of people just so caught up in, why aren't you thinking the way that I think? Well, guess what? Literally, no one thinks the way that you think. Point blank, period. You know, and so I'll bring up some brief topics I kind of wanted to talk to my group about, and I'll speak a little bit. I mean, look, I know I'm going to be wrong with a lot of things I say politically because a lot of my stuff, I end up having conspiracy based things about stuff because I just don't trust the government. So if there's some type of unknown, I'm going to automatically assume the worst. So, I mean, if you guys know me personally, you know, as far as the situation with former President Trump and the, I guess you may as well call it at this point an assassination attempt, you know, my whole theory was like, I feel like the Secret Service probably was trying to be in on the job. Obviously, the Secret Service never going to come out and say, "Oh, we don't want him as our presidential candidate" and stuff like that. But I'm like, okay, this guy, you know, the person's the shooter's party affiliation is Republican as it comes out, and things of that nature. But my biggest thing is this: they say the Secret Service spotted him beforehand. So I just don't understand why he wasn't shot beforehand. Like, that's a question that I don't think anybody can give me a proper response to. As far as like me understanding why I might not think that it was a potential inside job. Because if you clearly, I mean, I just would have to assume if presidential candidate standing right there, some guy over here has a gun, I just kind of feel like the Secret Service is just going to be like, you know, that's just me. You know, that's a super basic theory, but that's just a hard question for me to have answered sufficiently enough for me to not think it might potentially be an inside job. That being said, I don't know. I don't know what is what. Because the guy is dead now, so we can't get any questions answered. So it's just gonna kind of remain this mystery of what the heck, who sent him, why was he there, what was he doing, why would they just let this guy do all of that before shooting him? And then there was a loss of a life and things of that nature. And then, you know, former President Trump got grazed in the ear. And kind of segue into another debate I was kind of having with that was, I was automatically like, there's no way he got shot in the ear. And I know some people may have took that as like, oh, so you're saying that the shooting was fake. Not me. I know other people may be saying that, but not me. What I'm saying is, it doesn't look like a shot in the ear. And now it's starting to come out. He could have been, by a miracle, grazed by the bullet. I guess I can accept that. Miracles do happen. But when you have the people on that kind of like that, I guess you say like that more extreme side of, he got shot in the ear and he recovered. Oh, and he's got the picture and all the stuff. And it's like, but it was a graze. And it was still an assassination attempt. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, he got grazed. Let's say what it is and stop trying to like, I guess like my whole thing is like, stop trying to be so emotionally charged and like rah 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 rally stuff. Like, it's a sad situation. It's a messed up situation. And the reality is he got grazed. Because everything, all the science that you see behind, if the bullet actually hits, if it's more of like a direct impact, it explodes or whatever case like that. I'm not a gun enthusiast. I've shot maybe 3 or 4 guns in my life, so forgive my terminology. But they say when you shoot something, it kind of does like that. And there was no, you see his little band-aid on his ear. It's like, okay, so it's clear. To me, it just looks clear that it was grazed. So just call it what it is. It's okay that his ear was grazed. But don't just keep walking around. He got shot in the ear. No. Okay? That's just my take on it. Okay? The other political thing I was gonna bring up was the situation with Sonia Massey. I think that's how you pronounce her name. R.I.P. Sonia Massey. Just now reading the details and stuff like that on it. But I think my thing is, I kind of kept receipts from, all these years past with this whole Kaepernick situation, with the kneeling and everything. You see people posting the memes. Oh, if somebody takes a knee during the national anthem, talking about I think somebody said something about the disabled person that couldn't walk. Oh, if I saw somebody taking a knee, I want to give them that person's knee because you need to stand for the flag and stuff like that and everything. Yeah, the memes and stuff are funny and stuff like that, but it kind of speaks to a bigger point. It's like, do y'all not see why, he was taking a knee? Like, at what point don't you kind of like sit back and you're like, well, dang, man, this stuff keeps happening. Like, maybe we do need to bring awareness to this. Maybe we do need to kind of sit back and say, all right, you know what? I may not agree that that's the right time to do, to advocate for your situation, but dang, man, a lot of this stuff happening. Like, I feel like I've been waiting for years for people to kind of be like, all right, what is it that you guys want out of the kneeling and the this and the that and the, all the rhetoric that we speak on, on social media? For me, I think there just needs to be like clear-cut protocols on how to handle people. You look at me in the mental health world. I don't have like a weapon in my office. So if I've had they're people. We call them clients and stuff. But I've had people come to the office. I don't know what disorders they're dealing with beforehand, but they come in on a crisis intervention. I'm just sitting there. Hey, so and so, they wanted to come in for crisis intervention. They're going through something. Okay, I'm designed for that. So they come in. I don't know what they're dealing with, and I'm letting them talk. And I have to de-escalate with my words. Obviously, if somebody comes towards me or something like that, I can defend myself, but I have to de-escalate with words. Police officers, I'm sure, have a lot of training with weapons and tactics and strategies and things like that through the academies, and there's all sorts of trainings that I'm sure a lot of people take. But really, I think learning these de-escalation techniques, like through the professional lenses of mental health professionals, and learning like kind of like what we use to like de-escalate might help. Also, there's all this stuff about defund the police, and look, these buzzwords don't always get the point across. It's not to say to take all the money away from police and do something else with it, but it may be that there needs to be more mental health related training for police officers across the board. Because a lot of what I see when I look at the videos and stuff, people just jump in the gun. Like, and yeah, you got your cases, especially on some of the ones where maybe those people have criminal backgrounds and they end up, shooting them or whatever. But it's also like, I don't even have the opportunity to potentially shoot somebody if they're going to come at me and I'm in a crisis intervention situation in my office. So I don't even look at it as, oh, I need this gun to protect me. I look at it as, man, that person's hurting. Man, that person's going through something. I'm the professional here. So I need to be the one to try my best to de-escalate. Is my life on the line? Sure. It's what I signed up for. I'm a mental health professional. But at the end of the day, I'm not going into this thing like, ready to, ready to, and that's a lot of times with these situations you see a lot of these officers just ready to rumble, like chip on the shoulder stuff, and it's like, well, maybe we need to kind of take a time out and have some more professional training across the board. I've heard people talk about use of force laws and things like that, where it's like more dedicated to like, step by step. This is what you should do. This is the best practice. This is the best practice. I don't hear about a lot of that stuff. I'm not in the inner circles of police officers, police chiefs. Not in those inner circles and stuff. So I don't know the nuances, but I don't hear a lot of public rhetoric from um I guess you say like the police officer side, where it's like, this is what we're doing. No, I hear a lot of, well, he shouldn't have done it. Well, he had a past criminal history of da 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 da, and it's just like, okay, that same person can come into my office with a crisis intervention, pull out a gun and shoot me. I can't shoot him back. I don't have a gun, so I don't rely on a gun. But you don't see a lot of this stuff happen in the mental health world. Yeah, I'm sure it happens, but because we're designed to de-escalate. So why not take a piece out of our book along with the training that you have for, how to make an arrest and how to what to do if somebody's resisting. You should take some of those tips along with you, along with your, with the guns and the fighting back stuff. Maybe that'll help. Another thing for me is spirituality. I think that if I'm pursuing peace everywhere I go in those situations, not to say peace will always come back to me, but you're not the one bravado. And a lot of times that's what I personally tend to see with the police officers and stuff that end up getting caught up in this, is this bravado mechanism. And it's like, look, I'm an agent of peace. Me being me on my spiritual side of things, I'm a Christian. So I believe in the unconditional love factor. I believe in, as they say, turning the other cheek. I don't think you should just let somebody hit you in the jaw or nothing. But it's also like, I'm coming with peace. I'm coming for that person to, learn how to talk through their problems and to figure themselves out. Maybe police officers can utilize those types of techniques. Hey, I know a lot of the techniques. I know the research based stuff. I can tell you, what evidence shows this, and how, maybe if you say it this way, you might not get them to react that way. If you say it another way, this is why they're reacting this way. Like that's what the mental health stuff is all about. All the research, how to talk to people, what to say. I mean, if people need help with that, we should seek those things through those organizations, using those funds, defunding certain things that maybe aren't as efficient to fund things that can actually help, such as mental health and, learning more de-escalation strategies and, things of that nature. So ultimately, these things wouldn't happen if there was more of a sense of, hey, everybody has these same exact rules, and everybody has to operate under this, and this. Every situation is different. Same with us in the mental health world, but it's like there is nothing for people to go off of except for, well, hey, I'm here now, and here's this person, and this is what we're doing. And really, honestly, sometimes you just have bad apples. But sometimes what it looks like with the bad apples is there's a lot of people that will stand for that bad apple because they're on the police side, instead of being like, man, that guy was wrong. I think his name, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think his name was George Floyd. And that was the one where they were sitting there taking a knee on him. And my whole thing is, okay, he's got the handcuffs on already, but why are you still in this like bravado mode, holding him down? Okay, let's talk about if you didn't have the knee on him and he gets up and runs. Okay, well, he's shackled. Yeah, he can run, but you should be able to catch him. You know what I mean? Like, give him some space. You have a duty to protect. When you take away somebody's power by handcuffing them, you are now responsible for that person. So you can't handcuff somebody and then force them even more so. It's like they're already cuffed and they're on the ground. So you can give them some space. You didn't have that to do. Okay, if he had a heart attack, then guess what? You weren't on top of him, so it doesn't look like nothing. And things like that. And it just gets frustrating that, you know, we go back to, again, the Kaepernick thing. We're taking knee to bring awareness to this stuff. Like, something ain't right. We don't know what the answer is. We don't know how to get it to be right, but something ain't right. The last couple of things I was gonna have were show y'all a couple of things as far as like therapy music and relaxation music, a couple different types of things. I have a YouTube channel that has a couple different types, have some lo-fi beats on there, have some different types of beats that may be slightly unorthodox and not chaotic, but just kind of like off kilter, and then have some more soothing ones and some more meditation based ones. Let me see here. YouTube channel is P.Mac22. You'll see like a tie-dye little circle thing with my face in like a gray, same one that's on the shirt. And then it'll say Patrick McDonald, RMHCI. If you subscribe to that, I have I think it's 5 videos on here. Yep, I have 2 lo-fi packs, 1 soothing sounds, beautiful landscapes, and one of them will have soothing sounds with aurora borealis. So some of them have, these 4 have visuals. 2 of them are about 30 minutes long. The other 2 are about 10 hours long. You can put these on like at work and just have them in the background. Put them in your earbud, your headphones. You can throw these on, at home. You need something to try to make you go to sleep or something. They're pretty good. I listen to them quite a bit. I like the therapy music. I'm a big fan of hip hop, different types of music, rock, country, all types of stuff. But sometimes you just kind of need like those instrumentals where just chilling. I don't need to hear a lot of the rah rah. I don't need to hear a lot of words. Just need to put it on and lay back. Okay, so I'm trying to get that up. If you would subscribe to that one, that would be great. That's also where I'm going to post a lot of these videos at. But I'll try not to spam you, with a lot of things. I'm just going to put up things that I think are interesting and things that I think are beneficial for you. Let's see. I was also going to try to do some board games and stuff at my group session. This depends on the situation. I have some therapy-based games, and I also have some, random regular games that you get from, your local stores and stuff like that. And then the last thing I was going to do, well, 2 things I was going to do. I was going to do an ACEs test just to see, basically an ACEs test determines kind of like how much trauma you've been through. I just wanted to see where all the people in the group were at. And then the last thing I was going to do is show you how to frolic. Frolic, Frolickking. It's just a big word for you act a fool a little bit. Sometimes as adults, we're kind of in serious mode and we forget like we're big kids. We got the same, same body, same brain, same eyes, same everything as when we were a kid. We just literally, our bones have gotten bigger, skin's gotten, stretched out more, whatever the case may be. But sometimes we just forget to just let loose a little bit. And so I was gonna have us play a little funny little music and do some little dancing around, but I'm not gonna do that alone unless Well, I guess I could demonstrate how to frolic. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna demonstrate how to frolic. Okay, so frolicking is basically just doing whatever your body pleases, and it's just kind of like letting loose. So whatever funky little dance moves you got, whatever little things you got going in your head, you just want to do, flailing or spinning, all types of stuff. You just do. So I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna do a little bit for about 30 seconds. See? Sometimes if you just had a bad day, you just gotta frolic for a little bit, you know? It releases a lot of energy, increases the heart rate, and honestly, afterwards, you might laugh at yourself for being such a dork. So there it is. That's kind of what I wanted to do for my podcast. And hopefully I can get a big group committed to what we're doing. And we can get this thing rolling next time. I want to do an actual men's group. I want to do a ladies group. With the ladies group, I want to do some, like, you know how they say, like, the painting with a twist, but you know, we won't really do the alcoholic beverages stuff because it's supposed to be mental health. But I want to do some of that. I want to have a young men's group, like fresh out of high school, 18, 19, probably 18 to like 22, 23. I want to do like a coaches group. Men and women is fine. And some other stuff too. So I'll be posting about all of that. So hopefully you guys can connect with me and see what this life coaching thing is about. If you're interested in the nutrition coaching, relationship coaching, confidence coaching, academic coaching, anything that you got going on that you kind of want somebody there to, like, you know, help you game plan and help you kind of, like, you know, keep you progressing with it, contact me. P.Mac, the life coach.